Looks like the PBC card is official. Fundora will be taking on Keith Thurman October 25th, with the co-main being O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton. And also on the card is Jesus Ramos versus Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. Or maybe I should leave the sugar out. Just say Shane Mosley Jr. And they said the fight will be at middleweight. Is Jesus Ramos moving up to middleweight? I'm not sure. But according to the article, the fight is for the WBC interim middleweight championship. The card will also be featuring Tony Harrison. Now, this is a decent card to me and very interesting card, because if Keith Thurman doesn't go down with a toenail injury, I would want to see Keith Thurman's game plan to take down the Towering Inferno. But with this being an interesting and decent card, it's not worth $80. Back in the day, this would be an HBO Saturday night card, not pay-per-view. But we will see if this card holds together. If it holds together, I ain't mad at this card. The only thing I'd be mad at is the asking price. We'll see what happens. This comment comes from T. Kirkland. By the way, I appreciate you listening to the channel. Terence Crawford ain't no 168-pounder. He would have trouble at 154 if he stayed there and fought everyone. I agree. He should have stayed at 154 to become undisputed. The problem with that, Kirkland, is the politics of boxing. These guys, I agree with Hands of Stone. These guys would say, well, yeah, I want Crawford next, but that fight would never materialize. And money was not the problem. They just didn't want to fight that dude from Omaha. They say the right things. They were attached to name the Crawford, but they would not want to fight. Look what the PBC is doing now. They're trying to lock up the division 154 pounds. Alexander Zayas is going to be on the outside looking in. The only brave soul, champion at 154 that would take the chance to fight Crawford is Majumov. Terence Crawford initially reached out to Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu declined the offer and decided to take the PBC route, and he thought he had a better chance of beating Keith Thurman than Terence Crawford. And Tim Tszyu didn't see the switcheroo coming. They switched out Keith Thurman, which he came down with an apparent injury, and put Sebastian Fundora in the fight. And the rest is history. Fundora was never interested in fighting Terence Crawford. None of the champions actually were interested in fighting Terence Crawford. And at the age of 36 to 37, Terence Crawford only wants to fight titles, unlike Boots. He doesn't want any tune-ups. He wants to fight for titles at his age. And at 154, that wasn't going to happen. PBC was not going to let Terence Crawford back in and take their belts. I know people say things like that because they don't like Terence Crawford, because Boots had plenty of opportunities to fight Terence Crawford. He did not want that smoke. And the thing is, when you're dealing with sports, you got to be objective, right? Because I never was a Michael Jordan fan. I never liked Michael Jordan. I was Larry Bird, Larry Johnson, and so on. But for me to say Michael wasn't the greatest player I ever seen would be ridiculous, right? Jordan was the best in my era of watching basketball, my early ages of watching basketball. It's not even close. This is not a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? It's not who you like. It's the truth. And the truth at 154 is Terence Crawford was interested in taking on the champions. You might say he fought a weak champion in Majumov, but that's the only champion that would challenge him. And the other champions would not challenge him. And now when it comes to Boots and Ortiz, both those guys had plenty of opportunities to face Crawford, and they did not want it. Oscar held back Virgil Ortiz, and Bozy Ennis admitted that he was contacted by BOK Prime, and he also was ranked in the WBO, and both those times they did not want the smoke. So it is what it is. I hate to keep regurgitating this, but the receipts are on YouTube. You can look them up yourself.
I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. You know, everybody's talking about this and that and this, but I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious. And after that, we're gonna have another parade.
That was Terence Crawford on his send-off in Omaha. Is he overconfident? Are they underrating Canelo Alvarez, or they just been studying him so long they got the blueprint how to beat him? Because we can say what we want to say about Terence Crawford, but he never has been beaten. Even though I'm picking against Crawford, I do give him a chance to win this fight, but I'm picking Canelo to win. But there's no blueprint how to beat Terence Crawford. Yeah, some people say he's easy to hit. He takes a lot of right hands. He's been wobbled by Gamboa. And he takes risk. He likes to mix it up. And if you get him good, he's going to try to get you back. But no one has been able to finish the job, right? So there's no really a blueprint out there to beat him because no one has done it. Like I said, even though I'm picking Canelo, he's been outboxed in school twice. One by Mayweather and one by Dimitri Bivol. And when we get closer to the fight, when I do my prediction, I will tell you why I'm picking Canelo to win the fight. It's not because of size or skill. But I do like this message from Crawford because it confirms what I've been telling people. This is not going to be a Jermell Charlo fight. This guy is coming to win, and he's willing to go out on his shield to bring these titles back to Omaha and throw this parade. And he's very motivated. He's been hearing all the talking, all the clowning on YouTube. You know, he hears all that and he says, I'm going to make all these dudes eat their words. I'm going to make his fans cry. And that benefits us because we're going to get a great fight out of this. You see how Canelo is thinning out? Canelo is taking this fight seriously. He's thinning out for more speed on his punches. He's also brought in Jaron Boots Ennis. That tells me right there he's really focused on this fight. And I think we'll see the best Crawford and Canelo that night at their ages. But anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Beezy, I'm gone. By the way, all these fanboys that are calling me a fanboy, they're right. I'm a fanboy of boxing, never man.